class as alert, class as an alert, and we say alert primary, then another div will come here and its color is changed. You can see I can keep here as a message hello, so you can see a message is displayed there. These are different colors actually. Okay, fine. So currently we can apply any colors here. You can see that is the color. And this is heading. For headings, alert have a class. We can apply the class as alert heading. For alerts, we can use alert heading. For link, href is hash. For links inside the alert, we can use class called alert link. We can use alert link. So then it will display them in this way. Link will have a bold and mouse over underline will come. Heading have some special font appearance and all for that. That's your requirement. You can change, right? We can put different background colors. So BG color, text color, already we discussed about that. This is a general alert, means you can't control this now because there is nothing jQuery added. Here we are just adding simple CSS. If I want this alert to be dynamically controlled, then I can use here, I can use jQuery attribute. So here first for this alert, I have to keep as alert dismissible. Alert dismissible means it will give the behavior so that it can be dismissed, but not yet. It will not be dismissed yet. Okay. And currently if you see the output, no change, because alert dismissible requires some more attributes. What are those attributes? First, the role for this div, we have to give a role as alert. Role is alert. Okay. Generally, how to dismiss this? Usually to dismiss, then what we have to do is we need a button so that on button click anyone can dismiss this. We need a button. Then what we are doing is here, so we are adding a button control. Button text I given as a cross. Button text I given as a cross. So cross is the button text. Usually the button with cross so will be displayed outside. You can see it is outside. It is outside. So that means it is present outside that alert. So I will keep it inside this and below the heading. Below the heading we put this button and you can see the button is inside it. Okay. Now button have a separate, for button we have a separate type. Type already we know, it is a button. If I don't give button type button, it will be like submit. Okay. And button can have a class called close. Button can have a close class. Close class, what will happen here is, you can see that close class will give the button in the right side corner. You can see the button comes right side corner. That means by default, close is a class which can be given for button. In the next example, I will tell you about all button effects, right? If I give button class as close, then you can see that a close button will come right side corner, right? A close button, because when you give as close, automatically it will be placed at right side corner, right? So that means here we defined a button and button class as close so that it can be defined right side. Okay. Now on this button click, usually it has to dismiss this alert. So the alert must be dismissed. Then for the button, we have to just write a simple attribute, that is data hyphen dismiss. Data dismiss. What it has to dismiss? It should dismiss the alert. Means it should dismiss which have the role alert. That means it must be dismissed. That means data dismiss we are giving as alert. Data dismiss as alert, and save this, and you can refresh here. You can see alert is there. When I click on this close, that alert should close. So for closing that alert, so we have to define. So one more option is how it should close. The effects also important for that. That means we need to define the effects also perfectly. Okay. And one more important is the which option we need for alerts. I told you. So we need a effect for displaying. Displaying effect is nothing but, so here we can use the alert dismissible with how it should hide. We have an attribute fade. Fade is an attribute, and we have show. Fade show. These are the classes we need to define. Then on click it should close with a fade effect, right? Now one more important option is the alert is defined with various effects, and on dismiss it has to close. It has to close. What is the library required? Currently we are importing the bundle, which is for all of them. Without the bundle, I am importing only this JS file, the JS file, which is required for the bundle, right? We can use bundle or JS. Actually for alert, what it is having, technically for alert, it is having a separate library we are having for the alert. What is the library we have for the alert is, you go to Bootstrap. I will show you both methods how it works. So we have Bootstrap. In the node modules, go to the node modules class. Yeah, in the node modules, in the Bootstrap, we have dist. In that JS, we have Bootstrap JS. But in the Bootstrap, you will find a separate JS library. In that JS library, we need to use this dist, where you can see there is alert.js. That means there is a separate alert.js, separate alert.js, right? And how this alert.js is used, you can see this alert.js is having all the code. Through that code, it is going to show and hide the contents. See, it has class name. What are the class names? It is having these three classes: alert, fade, and show. So we cannot understand these attributes and functions until or unless we learn some JavaScript, right? That means actually it is saying that for alert, we need these three attributes. One is alert, another one is fade, another one is show. Those are the three objects. And see the classes. It is using some classes for adding elements, removing. This is all the jQuery written for that. This is all the jQuery written for that. We will learn in JavaScript and jQuery how to write these by ourselves. How we can write these by ourselves, we will discuss about that. But initially, this is the location where it is designed, means it is all the logic is present. And see, there is a dismiss option. What is the dismiss option? Data dismiss, and it can dismiss that alert, right? Data dismiss should be alert. Then it can dismiss that alert. Actually, it is present in this separate alert library. Now go to here Bootstrap. In the Bootstrap dist js bundle.js. In this bundle.js file, observe in the bundle.js file, actually it is having all of them. Some thousands of lines of code is present here. So once verify in this, I will use Control F for finding. I will write alert. You can see alert related logic is copied here. That means actually it is present in a separate file. You go to bootstrap.js here, and in that search for that alert, bootstrap.js, there also we have an alert. That means we can use these two files. Either we can use the bootstrap.js file, or we can use the bootstrap jQuery. One more important, jQuery will not work without downloading the original jQuery library. That means, okay, this is fine. But the problem here is your Bootstrap is using some library. That library is bootstrap.js, bootstrap.bundle.js. You can use both of them, but they will not work directly because they are jQuery libraries. jQuery functions are present, and in order to use these functions, you need to install jQuery also. So everything is ready. It is ready to work. But when I click on this, it is not working because these functions cannot work. Whatever functions written inside them, they cannot work until or unless you install jQuery. Okay, let's do that also. How to install jQuery? Now open this in the terminal, the project in terminal. I opened the project in terminal, and let's install jQuery. How do we install jQuery? npm install jQuery, just like how you installed Bootstrap. npm install jQuery, enter. Okay, remember jQuery library is separate. You have to download that library separately. Okay, jQuery library is installed successfully. Fine. After installing jQuery library, now the jQuery library is copied into Bootstrap, into node modules. Now you can see in the node modules, folder, you will have both of them. Now in the node modules, you can observe, scroll down into the node modules folder. You can see that node modules comprises of two libraries. Now one is jQuery library. You can see the Bootstrap and jQuery library. So in jQuery, you have dist. In dist, we have jQuery.js. You have to link this also. So let's do that. That means before the Bootstrap is used, Bootstrap.js is used, you have to import the jQuery library also. That means script source is equal. Order is also important. Remember that actually you will learn in JavaScript. When you write a script, the placement of the scripts also important. If you misplace them, that means one below another, then script will not work properly. It doesn't matter for CSS, but for jQuery JavaScript, order also important. First you have to import jQuery, then you have to import Bootstrap jQuery. So where is jQuery? It is in node modules. In that we have jQuery. In that dist jQuery.js. This is the original library. Okay, let's save this. Now I will refresh this page. Now I click on this close, then it has to close that dialog. I will refresh the page. You can see the dialog will come. I click on this close, then it will close the dialog. That means we are dynamically controlling this, and I click, it will be closed. Now currently I am not using any logic manually. We are not writing any logic manually. Later when you learn JavaScript, you can write in such a way that one button click, it will show the dialog. I again click, it will hide the dialog. Such things we can manage. But in order to deal with this example, you need to install jQuery and configure jQuery also. So finally, what we have to do, one more time I will explain. Let's see from the first. step onwards. I will clean up this all code. Okay, and our page is also empty. Our page is also empty. Let's start designing. So here, step by step process I will give you how to handle that example. So how to deal with this example? First step, what you have to do is install jQuery for your project. So how we can do that? Open the terminal. In the terminal, npm install jQuery. That's it. Now add a new HTML page. In that we can put the logic. So what the logic we need to put? See, in the head section, we need 3 files now. One is link relation, one is style sheet. Relation is style sheet. Link href is it is using node modules, bootstrap, dist, css, bootstrap.css. Okay, that is one. Now we need to import jQuery script. Script source is equal to node modules. It is a jQuery. In jQuery dist and jQuery.js. That is the second one. That means here, once you install, it will get the library in this location. Node modules. In node modules, you will find jQuery. In jQuery, you will find dist. In jQuery, you will find dist folder. In the dist folder, you will find jQuery.js. Right, that we need to include first. Okay, after that, now entire bootstrap library, script source, node modules, so bootstrap, dist, js, and bootstrap bundle.js. I told you, you can use 3 files actually. Only alert.js. So if you are using only alerts, only bootstrap.js. If you are using only few, if you are using everything, then better you can go with bootstrap bundle.js. Okay. After importing all these, then go to the body and apply the class container. And here we will put a heading, alerts in bootstrap. And you remembered I created a div. In the div we have a heading, delete record, and we have some paragraph. Record will be deleted permanently. Okay, and we just keep some link href is empty, and click for more help. Okay, like this. Now usually this looks in this way, normal. Now we need to give an alert effect for this. Then for the div, we need to use a class. What are the classes? Alert, then alert color. Color is danger. You want it closable, then alert dismissible. And you want it to close with effect, then we can use fade and show. These are the effects we need to add. And role, what is the role? Role is alert. Okay, that is the option we have defined. That means you can see it gets that color. Now for heading, we will use a class called alert heading. And for link, we will use a class called alert link, so that they will be adjusted according to the background colors. Now you can see they are fine. Now we need to put a close button here. So in the alert, you can keep a button here. In the alert, we can keep a button here. Button text is cross, and button should have a class. First, button type. Button type is equal to button. Why? Because if I don't give type as button, by default its type is submit. Then we don't want as a submit, form submit. It is for only closing. Then type as button. And class we will give as close. Close class will automatically give an appearance. That means you can see a close button will come, but still not working. Why? Because on click it should dismiss the alert. Then we have to use an attribute, data dismiss. Data dismiss, which one it has to dismiss? Alert. It should dismiss alert. That means now when user clicks on this close, it will close that alert. So when you load the page, it is displayed. Later when you learn JavaScript jQuery, you can write on button click this dialog will come, on button click it will hide. Currently we are just displaying and we are closing. And see here, actually the fade and show effects, if I don't give them, fade and show effects, if I don't give them, I click on this, then it will be closed immediately. You can see it is closed immediately. It is closed immediately. But if I give the effect like fade, then what happens is, so when I fade, along with fade we need to use show also. Okay. Then first it will show. Then when I click close, it will use a fade effect. Fade effect means it will slowly close, like disappearing, not immediately closing. It will disappear slowly. That speed we can control by using jQuery. We can control the fading speed, slowly faded, fastly faded. That requires the knowledge of jQuery, right? This is one important option. How do we deal with alerts in Bootstrap? This is how we deal with alerts. But here we are using lot of inbuilt jQuery. So this is easy to understand. You need to just remember the functions. You have to remember the attributes and use those attributes. Wherever you want to close, then we have to use data dismiss. Like that, so many other options also will come. We will see that actually. Suppose we can even use various other attributes also. Later we will discuss about that. For that we need to understand how to create buttons, how to write the classes for the buttons and all, right? As of now, this is an example of how to deal with buttons. Here we are using alert, alert success, alert link, alert danger, right? Alert heading, alert dismissible. We have a role and we have data dismiss. That means it is used to close any specific element dynamically. So these are important. And remember, Bootstrap jQuery will not work without jQuery. We have to make sure that we install jQuery and using jQuery, right? So example in the page, some alerts.html in the page. This is all the logic we need to handle. This is all the logic we need to handle. I copied that entire example that you can practice, right? This is how we can deal with alerts. Next, after understanding alerts, now we will see how to design buttons, cascading, banners, advertisements, forms, how to design them with complex animations also. We will see that we will see in next session. So here remember, so while practicing this Bootstrap, so many issues will come. You try this today. And if you face any problem, let me know tomorrow so that I can solve the problems. I can see what the problem you are facing and we can handle that. Because mostly while learning, because in the beginning days of Bootstrap learning, you miss the order, you miss jQuery files, libraries, then any one attribute you miss or mismatch, it will not work. You should be very careful in implementing all this. That's the reason. So first you try today. If you are able to do, then we can go with more complex things. Otherwise, what problems are there? Tomorrow we will discuss about them. If you have faced any issues, we will discuss about them, right? Then we can continue with other options. So tomorrow we'll continue with this, right? Thank you.